Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Farm Thinking Right. Out here in my lab where I do what I do for you. I got a nice lesson. Again, a life lesson. You can't have life without death. Yeah, our ancients knew that. They understood death was the next phase to life. But we get ignorant, so we think death is the end of life. And to some people it is, but let's talk about it. That's today's lesson. I'm gonna go off script because I got my own concepts that I didn't put on here, but I'm gonna fill it in as we go. But this is gonna be a good lesson. Hope you get it, hope you understand it, and maybe learn something. Wrightisms, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's always a message in my stories. For life, I give life lessons. You tune in to receiving them. I appreciate you. This is another one. I, let's tune. Let's do what we do. Excuse me. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking. Mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission at all right thinkers, know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get there together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through. That's what I do. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer, free yourselp, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. Don't be them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm a spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself, and to Maya be true. Right thinkers. P Funk philosophy says, living the right life prepares you for death and birth in the afterlife. I just add that on because I'm gonna do a little adding on. But this is about life and death, and we always get touchy when it comes to death of a loved one or a friend, somebody that's close by. Death don't when it's down the street, up the way, it don't bother you. But if it's in your house, oh, now you got to deal with it. We all do at one point in time. Let's talk about it. Get a little better understanding, hopefully, of how to deal with it. I told you, our ancient ancestors were showing you how to avoid death by what? Living right, living the right life. When you living right, you're doing right, death avoids you. Why? You go on into afterlife, aka eternity, with your conscience intact with your spirit, so you know who you are forever. So death ain't, oh, I'm gonna die. That's it. Yeah. No. For ignorant people, y'all will die until you get enlightened. That's why you keep reincarnating. God ain't taking you with this nonsense that you're doing. You gonna stay right here. This is the punishment. Earth is punishment. Life lesson. For those who keep coming back reincarnating, that's showing you they haven't learned the life lesson. So they gotta keep doing it until they get it right. Moving on. That's the concept. That's my philosophical concept. All right, let's go. That gives me reason and purpose to do what I do. Hopefully to help you too. Again, our ancients wasn't obsessed with death. They was comfortable with death. They worry about death. No, we knew death was a part of life. And what makes you think it changed? It haven't. It's the same thing. Because there's somebody you love, or you love one, mother, father, sister, brother. Oh, it's so devastating. It's still death. It's still death. Death don't give a damn. Like karma, philosophy, rules, elements, nature. Don't give a damn about your feelings, about you as a person or individual. Get used to understand that and you'll be better for it. Life and death goes together like yin and yang, night and day. You can't separate the two. If you're born, yep, you're going to die. Oh! Again, ignorance right there. Death to the physical body is normal. It's been going on since the beginning of time. It's the spirit and the mind that's inside the body. That's what God is. That's what He is. We make God human. God ain't a human being. He's spirit and consciousness. Life and understanding. Those are two things that God dwells in. That's what we got to figure out for ourselves as humans. That's not a big deal. We lost sight. So now it's a big deal just to you yourself. Really? Really? That should be the norm. No, dysfunctional is the norm. Excuse me. But that's what we are. Life and death is like I didn't read I'm way off script. I ain't even got to the lesson yet. But that's because I got my ideas and my philosophy about death, and I don't always have to put it on paper. I can express it. So every now and then I'm gonna do that. But life is the yin and the yang. Life and death is like the yin and the yang. You can't have one without the other. To live in fear is ignorant of death. If you're fearing something that's imminent, you're never going to live. So you got to live in order to what? You're going to die. So don't worry about that part. Just live. And if you live right, you won't die. Why? Because you go on to the next life. If you live this one right. That's the purpose of us being here. Rich and famous, legacy. Oh, that's erased. Oh, that's human nonsense. Okay? Thousands of years. We put it in stone. It's still there. What every individual do will be remembered by the people he did it with, and hopefully the legacy going. I don't give a good hoot about that. Why? I'm living my life on my terms. That's what matters to me now. At this point, I'm trying to get other people to do the same. Why? It's a good thing. When I sold drugs, everybody loved it. Now I'm giving life lessons. Nobody want to hear that. Moving on. I'm not letting that go. And again, living in fear means you're ignorant. You think you're going to die, then yeah, you will. And you deserve to. Why? You ain't did nothing to change that aspect, which is ignorant and wrong. So you want to die wrong? Okay, you come back again until you get it right. When you have reached self-knowledge, obtained it, and death is a part of the life in the physical world. You can't get around it. But the idea is that your spirit and your conscious, which is God, will live on when you have conscious, when you know who you are. Now you're conscious of who you are. Death don't bother you. Death don't. Why? You know you can't die. If we all knew that, people just want to just die and die. No, it don't mean that way. It means that the spirit don't die. You go get hit by a car, the spirit ain't for the thing. And when the physical body ceases to exist because you broke it up, tore it up, liquored it up, drugged it up, it's going to pass on. Spirit don't get bothered by none of that. And the consciousness is what you're thinking. That's between you and yourself, a.k.a. God. All right? So if you are born, and this is a fact, you avoid death by living right. Why? You don't die. Spiritually and consciously, you are going to live forever in the other life, which don't need the physical body. The physical body is for earth. This is hell. Heaven is with this and this coming together. Next level. I got to get moving. I can be all day talking about one. I got some levels down here I want to get to. So if you're born in the physical world, and we all are, when you die, you will die in the physical body, but your spirit can't. It's God. That's what makes us divine spirit beings having what? This human experience. We got to know that. We don't. A lot of us don't. Young, old, don't make a difference. A lot of us don't know who the hell we are. And that's our major problem. Life is a process. Once you born into it, you part of the process. Whether you like it, don't make a difference. You part of the game. Birth means new life. That means you born into the world as a baby, you grow up, you live your lifestyle, and then the body physically gets old and dies. If between that something happened other than that, then the body's still going to die. It ain't going to live forever. So you don't need the body forever. You just need it temporarily. Like some clothes. I wear this body while I'm in the physical world. When I take this off, when death comes, I take this off and go on to the next life. If you live right. That's the concept. So yeah, I'm hell bent on that. Why? That's my philosophy. That's what I'm living for. That's my purpose. Not to be rich and famous. No. I just want to make sure I live this life right so I can go into the afterlife. Again, life is a process. And if it's done right, you don't die. You multiply into the next life. Life is meant to be lived. But on certain levels, your body will die. That's life, physical. But what's inside, which is your brain, your consciousness, they were teaching you how to become conscious of who you were while you're in the physical body. I'm still doing the same thing. Church has been doing it forever. Religion's been practicing since whatever. That's the goal. How many of us getting it right? Moving on. 144,000. Stop the nonsense. You can't physically live forever. Ain't gonna happen. But why would stop it? I ain't going there. But in this world, so your spirit belongs to God. It's been here forever. It ain't going nowhere. And if you become conscious of who you are, then you go on forever to be with Him. That's the concept. Y'all call it heaven. Same thing. I don't care. But if you ain't living right, you ain't getting to heaven. They tell you that all the time. Peter at the gates. How Peter know who the hell you, how you live? God is inside you. He's controlling what's going on. As far as your judgment, that's between you and Him. God is everlasting. God is everywhere. And all that, y'all teach on that, but then y'all make God human. Y'all shrink Him to be like you. No, how about expanding your knowledge to be like Him? That's the name of the game. God is eternal forever. And God is our spirit. It can't die. He gave us consciousness so we can know why. That's the game that we play right now in the physical form. We need to become conscious. We live in an unconscious time where society is dumb as a bag of rocks. And the people in power and control, they like it that way. They want y'all dumb. They ain't got a problem with y'all being dumb. Y'all do. Okay? We have a conscious, aka a brain, for a reason. All animals have brains, but they don't have conscious. Wow, we are the ones that God feel the need to what? Get in control with, get in contact with. So again, to know we are God in the flesh, it takes lessons that life will teach you if you're willing to learn. That's why we got teachers, gurus, mystics, and saints, pastors, preachers, reverends, and whatever. But they are teachers. I'm just a teacher of a spiritual philosophy, okay? But our Egyptians was prepared for death. Why? How? By living right. Maya philosophy. Live a certain way, and when this life is over, you go on to the brighter day. That's the name of the game from our ancients. We done messed it all up. It's still the same. The truth don't change. Of course, people know the truth is the truth. You live right, you go into the afterlife. We have a spiritual life that we can get to the afterlife. Okay, we live it right. We reach that level, what? Of righteous living, and you earn your way into God's domain. He left us, so he said, nah, I can't deal with these. Only way they get to me, they got to be good. They got to be righteous. Okay, they got to be pure, sanctified. Okay, so God is spirit. We all know that. So when I say I'm a spiritual person, I'm godly. I'm conscious of God. Now I'm a knowledgeable person of God. I don't just believe in God. No, I practice a philosophy that gets me to understand God will take care of you if you take care of Him. You magnify God, He magnify you back. The devil don't magnify back. He just takes. Okay. Again, and God is also what? Because He's spirit. That's the life. Conscious is you being knowing, all knowing. All spirit and all knowing, that's God. But it ain't in physical form. That's us. We got to reach that level and we become God-like in thought and spirit. That's it. And these by acting the way we're supposed to in human flesh. Good, righteous, God-fearing people just live right. Good Christian, Muslim, Jews, all people of religion, they just live right. They ain't trying to do nothing except appease or please their God. So they got to live right. I ain't got a problem with that. What you Muslim, Christian, don't make a difference. Y'all all got to do the same thing. So we in the same boat when it comes to that. That's where I dwell, okay? We are ignorant, mortal, egoistic gods, not knowing ourselves to be so. So we think we're human beings. Humans die. The ego dies. Why? It's human. It's you. It ain't God. When you come to grips and become conscious of your higher self, that's God. Ego is the waist down. Okay? And you can live with that, but you ain't going nowhere. You stay right here, moving on. That's why you got to raise your conscious level, become compassionate, truth-telling, and become conscious of who you are. Those are 3 degrees past the 3rd to 6th, 7th is outside you. That's the crown chakra. They've been passing that knowledge on since forever, and everybody can messed it up, transferred it, and it's all messed up. So only those who get understanding, who want to learn it, tune in. I got you. You can study for yourself, but it's there. All you gotta do is find it. Moving on. God told me, don't nobody know the truth. Are you kidding me? That's ignorance in itself. Egyptians, our ancient ancestors, they knew life was what? Temporary. They didn't live to be 50 years old. So it wasn't no long life for them. It wasn't no I can just hang out and no. 50 was the measuring stick. Okay? It was a hard life, not a long life. Okay? But if you live the right life, that's the life that you want forever. That's what the concept was all about. And all wanted to get to what? This physical life is temporary. But if it's lived right, you get to what they thought and had belief in, what they called the afterlife. Spirit can't die. So there's something spiritual that's going on, that's going to be going on. It's been going on before we got here. It's going to be going on when we're gone. You can become part of it or not. Your choice. You got to be part of it or not. Simple. Again, that's my yacht. You have a choice. All right? But remember, every action has an equal opposite reaction. That's karma. If you do good action, you're going to get good rewards. If you do deceitful, sneaky actions for perverted reasons, hidden agenda, whatever it is, manifested for riches and purpose, no, they're always going to fail. The phrase, no weapon formed against me shall prosper, that's evildoers. No matter what you do, it's not going to prosper. Moving on. And most people don't understand that. That's why you got these bootleg and fake pastors. Why? They living the life, getting all the benefits, and the whole time lying. But they get this, let that go. Don't worry about them. Understand it. If you're a spiritual believer, if you believe in anything, you know God takes care of them. That ain't your job to police them. Your job to police you. Moving on. I hold myself accountable to do the right thing. What everybody else do, don't bother me at all. I don't like ignorant people, but that's on them. All right? So the game is, if you obtain your spiritual knowledge of God, God is spirit. Spiritual knowledge means you have God's knowledge, you have knowledge of God. You study, you practice, you implement it, and you have proof by what the blessings that you receive for practicing your lessons about God. You won't die or reincarnate. Why? Because you know thyself. That's when the party for you is over. This merry-go-round, we going incarnation. That's when it ends, when you wake up and become conscious of who you are. Death only comes to what? Those who are ignorant. And death to the physical body is imminent. That's normal. But not your conscious or your spirit self. That's God. God is consciousness and spirit, or spirit and conscious, heart, mind. If you figure that out for yourself, you found God. That's how I tell you, I don't believe in God, I know God. Okay? So your body will die. No matter how good you keep it, how it's shaped, no, you ain't got to smoke, drink, no, it's going to die. What? It's a process. It's only here for a certain amount of time. Temporary. That's life, the physical. The spiritual life is eternal. To become conscious of your spiritual self, that's forever. Moving on, that's the concept. So your body will die, but you are, again, the spirit that's in the body. When the body died, it frees the spirit. I was just watching my man Crazy doing the trip to Egypt on the wall. The spirit is dancing. The little dwarf, they're happy. Why? They're free from the body. The body is a prison for the spirit until it what? Gets free from the what? The construction of the body. The sense is the only body God. The spirit is unlimited. The spirit is unstoppable, but it's in-house, it's in prison in the body. This can be a prison or it can be the temple. You treat it right, keep it doing what it's supposed to do, it's the temple. Solomon's temple, as y'all say in Masonic order. Again, symbolism and esoteric teachings have been around forever. A lot of y'all don't get it. Why? Back then they didn't get it either. Everybody get it. They got killed for having knowledge. They call it forbidden knowledge. What the hell is forbidden knowledge? What the hell is forbidden knowledge? Sorry about that. But death, the knowledge of death, just like life, should be understood back and forth. Where it should not be, well, scared of death, really? Moving on. I just see that as being so ignorant at this point in time. All right. So death, again, only comes to the ignorant and the physical body. And I teach a philosophy that says if you're spiritually ignorant, you're dead already. Why? You don't know yourself. You just going through the motions, and when it run out, you just done. That's it. Party's over for you. Okay, heavy heart, burden yourself with a bunch of nonsense, and you'll be bad. That's the concept. The spiritual people, what goes not to come back. Religious people scared of hell. Spiritual people been through hell. That's the least of our fears. Okay, and ain't trying to go back. That's why you wake up, enlighten yourself to what? Stop the nonsense. and to stop the world. I want to get off that, they say. But again, I teach the philosophy that if you're spiritually ignorant, you're dead. How I can raise you from the dead level of ignorance to light, enlightenment, life of knowledge of self. That's what I'm trying to do here. I did it Masonic for 15 years. So I know what I'm doing spiritually, esoterically, all right, speculatively. Okay, our spirit and conscious can die. No, conscious and spirit is of God. That's what God is. Y'all make God human. God ain't human. We're human. He made us human, but in his likeness to what? Create and manifest. That's why in the physical form, we can procreate by having sex with the opposite sex. Bring a third party into the world. Okay? That's the physical. But if you become conscious, you have your heart and your mind functioning as one, that's becoming what? Know thyself, one with God. You, the individual, realize that you have understanding that God is inside you. The spirit that's in you is of God. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. Now, how you deal with that, again, your choice. Your choice. You always have a choice, but you got to have two things to make a choice. Okay. You can't choose out of one thing. If everything was just one, we wouldn't have nothing. That's why God created what? Multiplicity. It started with what? Duality. Two opposites coming together to make a whole. You can't have a coin without a head and a tail. Okay? You can't have human life without spirit and the body. Heart and mind got to come together in the physical body. So again, death comes to the bodies and the ignorant. Death is not affected. Death don't affect the spirit and consciousness. It don't care. Okay, that's up to you. When you know yourself, when you know who you are, you won't die. If you live right, you will. This is why. Why? You live right. People who live right, serve God, earn his blessings, can go home and be with him for eternity. That's what you practice for here to do. Show God your loyalty, your worship. So when you get there, you ain't got to worry about that. He had to deal with that down here. He ain't got to deal with that up in heaven. That's the concept. I'm just saying. All right, here we go. So wrapping it up, again, I appreciate you tuning in. This is a life lesson all about understanding death. If you want to live, you know how to die. The spirit belongs to God. He wants it back. Your soul ain't yours, okay? It's a loan from God, okay? And he wants it back. So the string attached to his thing. And when he pull that string, a string, that means he wants you back. And if you ain't done what you need to do by doing your thing and living right, you're going to sling it back out there again. Every now and then, jack it just to see if you're ready, okay? God, the fisher of men. All right. But your body to earth stays here. Your spirit to God leaves. If what? If it's enlightened, if it know who it is, it can go home. You can't go home not knowing who you are. That's this philosophical concept. So your body is of nature. It's physical. It stays here and it will dissolve right back into every part of your body will go right back into nature. Okay. God don't waste nothing. And when the spirit leaves the body, it has a choice. Am I enlightened? Oh, I'm going home. I know I'm out. I'm gone. But if that body don't have your head on it, the spirit don't have your head on it, if it still got the spirit head, you ain't going home. Okay? You're going to find another body to get to do this thing all over again. A mulligan if you play golf. For Connie, my dude. All right? But again, reincarnation for those who don't know. That's called reincarnating. Why? You didn't get it right, so you got to come back and do it again. In school, stand back. Repeating the course. That's life. Moving on. All right, let me get this out the way. I see the clock. All right, so now, in order for you to go home, okay, aka the afterlife, after death, your body stays here, okay, on earth. It ain't going to sit at the right hand. Stop that nonsense and raising up to go to heaven. No, with that stuff about Enoch, just going to heaven. I'm going for that. Moving on. I got it. Moving on. I don't care if Ethiopia said it. I don't give a damn who said it. Okay, that ain't happening. Let's go. So again, your body stays here. Okay, and your your spirit goes back to the maker. It's given God. If it's unenlightened, it ain't going back. It can't go back home until they get enlightened. That's the purpose of reincarnating. So your spirit, when it leaves the body, has two decisions. Okay, got that part. Enlighten, Go home. Unenlightened. Got to find another body. So now, if you're not spiritually enlightened at the time of your death, you won't pass judgment. You're coming back. Why? Because karma gonna bring you all the stuff that you did that she didn't get a chance to give to you while you was alive. So here, in death, it's still yours. Yeah, your karma takes you on past the death. How about that? That's what most people fail. Why? Because they got so much built up karma that at death, when judgment comes, their heart is heavy as all get up, so they fail. Moving on. That's why. But it's all how they live. That's on them. Karma don't do nothing. Karma just give you what you deserve. You dictate that. Again, that's why we need to teach. We teach our young right from wrong. We praise them when they do good. Yeah, so they know. But as they start growing older, they start to get the ego come in. They start doing the things their way. Okay, sneaking, deceitful, never works. Those are the weapons formed against God, and they never prosper. Moving on. I'm about to take it home. Again, appreciate you tuning in. Preparing for death is you knowing thyself in life, meaning living right, and then that's the way to avoid death. Why? Because you going home. When this death comes to you, you go home. The physical body dies, the spirit say, yeah, I'm jumping up and down. Why? I know I'm out of here. So that's the lesson. Hope you understand it. Depend on where you fall at, what you think about it, your choice. Again, I just put it out there. I practice it. You can too. And the thing is, you don't want to be wrong at Judgment Day. So listen to Mr. Wright. And in closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100. Me, 100 miles that day. So I never know my right thinkers who know living right is preparing you for death. Are you ready? I'm out. I am.